Good day mga higala. Today I will be sharing about driving school here in Norway, expenses and processing. So stay tuned. I had a little experience in driving in the Philippines before and I could consider that as nothing. So back to zero ako sa pagdating dito sa Norway. So let us take a look on the steps to get a driving license here in Norway. First, I think you must pass the theory exam from Statens Vegvesen. The second is glattkjøring, driving on the wet way. Mørkekjøring, driving on the dark. It's almost demonstration. And the fourth is the long driving. It is separated by two country roads and motorway. So let's start from the beginning, the theory. I started to study on August 5, 2020 and bought a month of subscription of theory tentamen for around 379 kroner. Study hard and take the sample exams again and again. During the exam, only 45 items for 1 hour and 30 minutes. A bit tricky question, and you are allowed to have at least 7 mistakes for you to pass. I took the exam last week of August, and during the pandemic, it's hard to book a time for examination. So just update daily the website of Statens Vegvesen, or at 12 midnight, there are instances na madaming vacant na time, or you could choose nearby places to take the exam kung wala na pong vacant sa place nyo. So for me, I took the exam here in Oslo, Norway, sa may Luka. So before you book a theory exam, make sure that you will apply for a driving licensure in Statens Vegvesen first, then proceed to book a theory exam. By the way, the payment is 740 kroner as of August 2020. So mga higala, some tips during the exam. Aside from studying, make sure you are presentable because that is the time they will take a photo and use it once you pass the practical driving exam. So remember, 15 years po ang validity ng ID nyo. So kaya isagad nyo na kasi sa akin para akong magnanakaw last time. So I didn't know na doon na pala kunin. The second is meron pong Snellen chart or reading eye chart sa Luka before you can take the exam. So to those person na gumagamit ng eyeglasses like me, they will take off your eyeglasses and read the chart. I have a minus 1.5 sa grado ng mga mata ko. Nakaya naman. So if you want to be sure, the eye chart in Luka is on your right side before the reception. So tignan nyo lang. Then after the exam, you will get the result right away. Now let us look at the driving, practical driving experiences here in Norway. One of my experience is this. So I was referred to by my dear friend Ivy, hello, in Oslo Sid. It is located in Hauketo. So almost 25,000 ang package kasali ng driving exam. So dito sa Norway, lahat ng mga driving school is mahal talaga. So dapat nyo talagang seryosohin, dapat nyong mahalin kasi sobrang mahal. So in Oslo Sid, we have 10 hours driving included in the package. So as a beginner, hindi ko kaya ang 10 hours na driving lesson. So I exceeded sa package deal. So my total expenses lahat is almost 35,000 pesos. 35,000 kroner. But if you are an experienced driver, so you can talk to your teacher kasi usually they will see how is your driving skills during your first meeting. Then they will let you drive the car ora mismo. Things to consider sa time na makonsume nyo sa lesson, seminars on the practical driving. First is the basic life support. 3 hours, everyone must go through this. Kahit you are working in the medical field. The next is the glattkjøring. It's also 3 hours. And the next is mørkekjøring. more on demonstration, around 3 hours also. Then if you are doing the driving on summer, kasi dito sa Norway matagal yung sunset natin on summer, so you can do the milky sharing or the night driving demonstration on the winter time. So ando nakasaad yan sa start and buy lesson kung mga anong gagawin steps. Next will be the long driving. For us in Oslo City, it was divided in 2 parts. The first is the country driving for 4 hours, and then 3.5 hours it will be more on decision making. So they will going to give you a list of places that you will drive through. So ikaw na po maghanap niyan sa Google Maps. So better to study first. My total number of hours sa practical driving I spent is 67 hours and 30 minutes, in which the 43 hours of that is sa labas ko po siya kinuha. I mean, to my friends who really helped me a lot. I cannot mention you all here, but thank you for helping me. So 24 hours po doon sa traffic school ko. So maraming salamat po. Then just drive and drive until you will gain the experience. Let's go to the exam schedule. My exam schedule was on November 27, 2020. It is Friday at 8 in the morning to 9 in the morning. So approximately during the practical driving exam, you will have a 45 minutes driving in the motorway, country road, and residential. So different types of roads. So this is it. Sobrang kabado, but ganun talaga. Now the payment, you're going to pay 1,100 kroner. That is not included in the package yet, so you will separately pay it sa driving station. Then the weather that time, sa November 27, it is 0 to positive 1 degree. So konting dulas po sa daanan that time. And sunrise is around 8 a.m. So it is really a good start because hindi malakas ang sinag pa ng araw. So hindi masakit sa mata. Then the sensor will ask you 2 security questions, mostly about the parts, functions of the car. Pero pag hindi mo naman nasagot ng 100%, so it's okay. Basta wag mo lang damdamin kasi makaka-apekto yan sa driving performance mo. So during the first few minutes of driving, my level of anxiety was very high. Kaya prone sa mga mali. Pero ibalik mo lang talaga ang composure mo after 2-3 minutes. Then the sensor are clear to give instructions about the direction. So, and if you cannot get the first instruction, so you can ask them again. So some tips na nahanded on me sa mga nauna na sa akin. So they said that you must actively use your head, especially in if you go around, if you drive. So if you turn from your right or to your left, so you must really actively turn your head. Then in my personal tip naman, so during the exam, where though you made mistakes in roundabout, or especially in roundabout, so you can give your best in the next roundabout or round shooting because madami pa naman kayo madadaanan. Next is the familiarize the place. Yan yung nagpapagaan sa akin because I don't know if it is very effective sa iba, pero sa akin it was effective. If the sensor tell you what direction, so it is easy for you to picture it out. Pero don't disregard the road signs, right? So importante pa din yun. Then the next is pag overtake, you must have a good margin to overtake. For me, it's like 1,000 meters before we will get out from the motorway. So I didn't have the idea where to exit, but I had the feeling that we will exit in this place because we must cover other types of the road. So hindi naman pwedeng sobrang layo kayo sa motorway. So Yun lang. My exam route is from Drobak Traffic Station, Oslo Veien, Essex Göteborg, exit Osveien, then Centrum, then towards Ski, residential houses, Drobak Veien, Skolkebag, then go back to traffic station. If you want to consider driving on winter time, it is okay. I have my best friend Plong, who recently passed the exam just this month, February, and it is okay. The weather is good. The road is not slippery because they usually clean the roads, right? And it was on February 11 at 8 a.m. in the morning, so it is good because the sunrise is about 8 a.m. so it is clear on the road. Now, my reflection after the exam, I have some reflection asked by my sensor. The first one is after the practical driving, the sensor usually asks, how is your driving? And in my case, I told my sensor that I was a bit nervous for the first few minutes but regained the confidence later on. And lastly, and the most important, is don't forget to pray. Be specific in your prayer. My prayer that time is I need a lady sensor, and my driving direction will be a familiar one to me. And God answered my prayers. And my driving teacher was not convinced on my performance during our lessons, and I also would admit it because I had several mistakes prior to the final driving schedule. But thanks be to God for the answered prayer, and to my bunch Ching for her encouragement and prayers to me the day before the exam. Thank you so much. Then to all of you who are watching, guys, especially here in Norway, who are going to take the exam in Drobak. So this is all for you. This is all for now. I hope you got something special to those who will take the driving exam very soon. God bless you all.